I remember the first time I stepped into Vinai, and here are these people wearing this traditional clothes, going about their lives, and I was utterly fascinated by it. And all I wanted to do was stay in the camp and get to know the people and the culture. It was so wonderful. I just loved it there. It was probably my favorite thing I've ever done, was teaching in Vinai Hmong refugee camp. It was my favorite thing.
Vinai was the refugee camp that we worked in. We were educating Hmong refugees who were going to be resettled in America. And they were a group of young American teachers working with the refugees. And we got a message that we were getting a new teacher. And the new teacher was a Hollywood actress. So we were all kind of impressed that we were going to get a Hollywood actress coming to work with us. And she stepped off the bus and she looked very much like a Hollywood actress. She was glamorous. And we all turned to each other and said, let's take bets on how many hours she'll last here. 1 hour, 2 hours, this girl is not going to last in a refugee camp. And she came off the bus wearing high heels. And I walked up to her, being from Brooklyn, I had the guts. I walked up to her and I said, you can't wear those shoes working here. And she said, well, what shoes should I wear? And I said, you can't wear high heels. It's all mud. You're going to go, it's all muddy. You got to wear sneakers. You can't even wear sandals. You got to wear shoes that are not going to sink in the mud. And she said, well, I'll get those shoes. And the next day, she was out of her high heels, and she went to camp, and she was a true warrior, a true warrior.
Sân cả những tiền cho du lũ tê cho lũ chơi cho tê nhẹ tê tia tê cứ cho lờ tê tia thổ lũ thủ tia lũ tê tu bê tê nhẹ tê tia tê cứ tê tia ô lũ chế trồng to cá lia tua ô ý bờ 我也能一目老实着，有的一目这个下，有个浪子的不来，呀呢我到一波了那头把家被叫em。 lu mu xong cơ nè mùa cứ mùa tia nè tua nọ chỉ mu nọ ra nọ cá mu nọ cơ ni yo nọ rô chi nọ chua lo cá chừng chuối yo nè hô để lo cá mu chừng cho em nè mùa plo mùa thu lo nè chúa tì mùa son gì chúa cứ mùa sao sơ mò nè rong lu xia đó lúa tờ trồng lỡ tệp ship lỡ giờ chỉ tu yo sân ta những tia thổ lu thổ tia lu tê tu bê tê nhá tê chiam ni yo 我们这种都个厉害，木老师话我也能木是学嘛。你有的木种个多，有个老我的多，我到一多了那头把家别叫路多关。 nè mùa tia mùa cứ mùa tí tua nọ chỉ mu nọ chua nọ cá mu nọ lúa nè hô để lo cá chừng chơi nọ rô chi nọ chua lo cá mu chừng chua nè mùa plo mùa thu lo cho tê xin tua nè mùa tí ô tu xe chua cứ lo ô tu xua mò cứ tì mong rõ chúa chế nè rung lũ xia đó lúa tờ trùng mua khoa.
A typical day in Vinai refugee camp. The night before, I would have sat underneath my mosquito net with a candle and written my lesson plan for the next day. It's amazing I never burned the house down. It was a very simple house. We lived in that house. We had bamboo slat beds.
Yeah. She got there and she was, I call her a warrior, and what does that mean? It means she got there and she did the work that needed to be done. She worked the front lines. We all often talked about our work with refugees as working the front lines. She was there and she put her whole heart and soul into it, and she did everything that needed to be done. These people were traumatized. They needed empathy, they needed love, they needed direction, they needed hope. For most part, they needed hope. A lot of these people lost children and lost families and lost everything that they ever owned and lost a homeland. And we needed to, as educators, educating them for resettlement, we needed to really give them that hope. And Erica did that. Erica was there 24/7 for these people. She learned their culture, she learned their language, she knew how to teach. She was a great teacher and dynamic, and the Hmong people loved her, and she became what she calls a Hmong groupie. And
on the weekend, all the teachers would go to town, and I would stay in the camp, and I would go around with, I had a teacher aide who spoke some English, and he helped me, and I would go around usually with him. We would go walking around the camp and visit people. And that's how I learned about Hmong culture, was going around and visiting families. It's interesting how something is completely invisible to you if you don't understand the culture. I remember going to this family, and there were these sticks, bamboo sticks, lying on the ground, and I almost stepped on them. And my teacher aide Lou said, "Oh, don't step on those." And anyone else, any Hmong person going into that area would have known that those sticks were for carrying the body of a dead baby. To me, it was completely invisible. I had no idea. I had no idea. And that's when I learned about, okay, those sticks are for carrying the body of a baby that died. And after that, if I went into a yard and there were the bamboo sticks lying there, if they were bigger, they could have been sticks for carrying an adult who died. I learned about the culture by messing up, by making mistakes.
So, sweetie, 40 years later, we never lost a bond, and that's true for everybody that worked in the refugee camp. It was, like I said, frontline work, and people we met, we just always kept in touch. Whenever I come to LA, I see Erica. We've always kept in touch, and you know, we're soulmates, and we have such a incredible sharing of profession and story and a life that so few people get the privilege to live, and we lived it, so we never lose touch. And that's true not only of me and Erica, but of all the people that we worked with. We're always, you know, in touch.
Hmong people, and teachers.
Teachers, yes.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, refugees and teachers.
Mm-hmm.